Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a segment we like to call Thomas News. As you can see, we have an interesting setup here of a fun background. This is just a bunch of DVDs, and we have the entertainment's most popular shows from Thomas and Friends, Bob the Builder, and Fireman Sam. So, to keep this moving along, what we're going to do for this is essentially a recap of 2025. And oh boy, we have got some things in here to discuss because it's gonna be there's a lot in here that we have that's happened for 2025, and there's gonna be we're gonna have to keep this at a brisk pace because there's a lot, and I mean a lot here to work through. So, with all the intro being out of the way, let's get into this. Alrighty then, I'm going to start it off and take things away by saying, essentially talking about the um, how Britt Allcroft died over Christmas 2024, and that was a very, very sad thing that happened, and it caused a lot of surprise in the fandom because we did not expect her, of all people, to go next. And it was a very bad and sad way of starting off 2025. However, things were able to pick up because as of February of that year, we got into some extremely big, and I mean some big, essentially toy leaks and things that were happening um, behind the scenes at Mattel Head HQ. And we had no idea they were going to happen, but it was extremely exciting because come May, we would be in for a massive surprise. But as I was, what I'm just so what we're trying to say is that a bunch of ranges from Tomy and Playrail to Trackmaster to Diecast, they released a bunch of toys, including but not limited. Playrail released the Railway Series 2025 limited edition Thomas with Annie and Clarabelle. Then in Diecast they released um they released what is it now? Yeah, they released you know the d- um the Ruby Thomas, that's what it's called, Ruby Thomas, for Mattel's 80th, because apparently Mattel was created around the same time as Thomas and Friends started. Kind of interesting, in 1945. So that's kind of some interesting lore for you, history. Anyways, but as we got closer and closer to May, we got more and more fun leaks. Basically, Bachman released a new Thomas, which was pretty bad, and it flopped horribly, which was very upsetting. But it was they were able to you know, get things, worked with, and they were able to, it's I don't think it's out yet, but it's, I think they probably canceled it, and I don't blame them. I would have done the same thing in that case. And it was a pretty bad model, but anyways, um, to say other stuff, we got Trackmaster motorized, including Thomas, Percy, Nia, Gordon, James, Flying Scotsman, and Duck. That's right, you heard me. Duck came back and he returned in Trackmaster form for the first time in a very long time. It's been at least 12-ish years. It's been at least since 2012, so that's about 13 years, something like that, or 12. So it's been a while. And so essentially, um, going forward, you know, um, we weren't we didn't really expect any other surprises until about May 9th, which was a massive, and I mean a massive, excuse me, um, surprise. Out of nowhere, Ian McHugh, Mattel headquarters themselves, released the pilot. I'm not kidding. The pilot on to YouTube, and as further proof, it's very real, and we'll show an image of it here on screen. And it was really mind-blowing. No one, and I repeat, no one expected the pilot to be leaked through 2 or 3 days early before the actual Thomas turned 80 years and May 9th. And that was just a surprising thing because the pilot now stands at least about 2 point um or something like that. It was like 2.5 million K views or like million K views, something like that. And that's just amazing. No one expected that to ever happen, and it blew my mind. And you know what? To be honest, it's just so amazing. And I never expected that to really, happen or, come out until at least October of this year. But Mattel, they were able to pump it out. There is a blessing. They are good people, so they're not just bad ones. But anyways, by the time summertime came around, we were all already aware of the pilot, and it was so amazing to us that it just made us so excited. I just couldn't contain my excitement anymore. Excuse me. And then moving forward, it was All Engines Go finally, and I mean finally, got canceled and ended. I think it was April or May of 2025, but they're no longer were going, and that was pretty grateful because, to be honest, All Engines Go sucks hard. It sucks major, you know, horse testicles, with all due respect. But yeah, it was horrendous. But that wasn't all. Because as going throughout the summer, the toys were released and a bunch of reviews made happen, and that was pretty standard. And so, excuse me, moving through the trying to think here. Yeah, the Thomas fandom was pretty quiet for about 6, 7 months at least until not after the merchandise got leaked and all that is what I mean in terms of new content, because we didn't get new content until, I kid you not, November of 2025 with the leaked Dustin. And if guys don't know who Dustin is, again, I'll throw up a picture right up here on screen of who he is. And so, going through this, I should say, trying to think here. Yeah, we got about 4 videos of Dustin. I counted it right. That's 4. That's Gordon's tender number 4. And so, pardon me, I'm burpy today. And so, as to be expected, it just took the fandom by storm. And again, just like with the pilot, it got a bunch of views. We weren't expecting that, and to be honest, it was greatly needed and appreciated because the Dustin is a fantastic character, and really, I'm surprised that no one else really, didn't really, because I'm not really surprised that he didn't really that very few people knew about him, because he was honestly just a merchandising character who barely ever got any sort of representation in the show. And so going through this, um that was pretty much the last big events for Thomas, at least in terms of videos. But we're not done yet. We still have to talk about the behind lost media behind the scenes. We got a bunch here. So, um, Thomas and friends got leaked. Was it, yeah, leaked. Season 5. Not reels. It was season 5 scripts, and the scripts are as crazy and bonkers, from Duke having more screen time to what is it? Try to think here. Yeah, from Duke having more screen time to um what else? What else? Yeah, Duke having screen time. Um, Gordon or not screen time, not Gordon. Yeah, from Duke having screen time to um Duke got screen time, and then Super AED is the most amazing story where a diesel named Super Ed just, everyone has covered it all. Stepney Straw Hat being a evil dictator and being rude and mean. All these are amazing, all these are very interesting stories, and they really show David Mitten himself and how willing he was, how much he was wanting to, make Thomas into Tugs basically from all the from all the action packed scripts basically. I've read through them and there's a lot there that are really just blow my mind. And so moving through this, more lost media. Again, Magic Railroad in 2020. Magic Railroad had its 25-year anniversary in July 24th of this year, which was over the summer, and it was amazing. It was a really great movie. And Blu-ray is the Shout Factory. They released it 5 years ago, but this time we got more leaked footage. The what is it? Yeah, the behind the interview with all the cast and the behind the scenes stuff got leaked online too. It's the lead up. Um, the adventure begins. Calling All Engines or Solar's Lost Treasure and Calling All Engines turned 10 and 20 years old respectively this year. What do I mean? 10 years ago, The Adventure Begins came out, and then as well as Lost Treasure, Solar's Legend of Lost Treasure, and then Calling All Engines turned 20 years old. It was the first Thomas special to kick off specials once every couple of years. Excuse me. But yeah, we're getting more information leaked about all kinds of Thomas stuff, and it's really amazing. And it just goes to show how much the creativity of level and kindness is there for a lot of these things. But yeah. Calling All Engines was a pretty boring film, but I'm not really going to do a review on it. But I should say it's pretty decent. It's not terrible. And Adventure Begins is the one of the best films ever. Same with Lost Treasure. And I think Adventure Begins is a great origin story, and Lost Treasure is a phenomenal story about Thomas, and that was one of the best things ever. We rewatched Lost Treasure a lot. We had a movie night of watching all three of those films, and out of all of them, the best film, in my opinion, was The Adventure Begins, with Lost Treasure following it. So yeah, it was pretty darn good. To wrap up this Thomas section, there's not really much here to say other than trying to think here. Yeah, other than just it's been a big year for Thomas, and that we can't wait for more surprises to come. Come the next several years. We're looking forward in the next 5 years when Magic Railroad turns 30 years old, because in 5 years from now it'll be 38 years old. So yeah, it's going to be a exciting time. It really has been exciting time to be a Thomas fan. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else that I really missed or skipped over? Um, Oh yeah, I guess we could talk about Fireman Sam, since that's not really, no one else has mentioned it. Unfortunately, Fireman Sam has kind of stopped with its episode. It's been on autopilot for about three and a half seasons ish. But it's pretty much been milked milked in through the ground at this point, and there's talks about a 17th season, but I doubt it will ever happen. Fireman Sam is pretty much at this point slowly dying off, because it just it drank itself, milked itself dry, and I'm not surprised, because to be honest, that was one of the it was a great kid show until it just became not a good one, and that was so sad. Some of the best moments was like the peak of series 1 to 4, and then series 5 being a sequel season. Then you got the terrible season 6 to 9, and then you got the resurgence of Heroes of the Storm to season 13 ish, and then you got seasons 14 to 16, which are pretty horrendous. There is talks about season 17 coming. It's said either late 2025 or early 2026. It hasn't come out yet, so it's probably going to be early 2026, maybe like, I don't know, January, February, March, somewhere around there. But with David Carling's passing, which also happened about a year ago, RIP, very sad. So yeah, trying to think here. Um, the creator of this channel turned 19 this year, and he'll be 20 come next year, which will be amazing. And so yeah, there's not really a lot here to discuss, other than that, as of recently, we got more merchandise leaks for the Thomas, for Thomas and Friends, and God Almighty, I've never seen James or Gordon or Nia look so hideous. And to be honest, the new Trackmaster stuff, it looks horrendous. They're switching over to the new. It's Trackmaster Track. So let me go get an example. All right, I got an example here. Trackmaster Track is switching from the standard, motorized track to this literal puzzle piece track pieces. And while this works for Take and Play, it doesn't work for Trackmaster. But yeah, it looks like literal puzzle pieces. Thomas, the Tank Engine guy, he did a great live stream on it. So go ahead and check him out if you really want to know more. But yeah, it's a bunch of horrible, terrible, disgusting information that just is just James looks the worst he's ever looked, and I've never been one way or the other about it. Oh boy, oh boy. And I think that's everything I have to discuss about Thomas and Friends, the show itself. I'm just going to go look over my notes real quick to see if there's anything else that needs to be looked at. I don't think so, but yeah, there's nothing extremely important here for me to talk about. So yeah, I'm now going to pass the mic over to Muck and Rory to now talk about Bob the Builder and yeah, take it over, guys. Hello, everyone. I am Muck, the digging a digger from Bob the Builder. I am Take and Play Diecast. And hello, I'm Rory, the fastest racing car on the world. And I'm the top racer at Silver Hatch Racetrack. We're here too, since Keith Chapman also created Paw Patrol, which preschoolers only like. There isn't a lot to talk about Bob the Builder other than a brand new movie coming out. Come this, coming out at some point. With the success of the Barbie movie, Thomas and Friends and Bob the Builder are going to follow suit, but we don't know when or where those are going to happen. But yeah, and it's as sad as it is, it's been really great, and I think it's been a really great time to be to be alive for Thomas. Although Bob, it's again they keep re-uploading runs on the YouTube channels for Bob and Rory the racing car. It's no longer making new videos, but they've been around since they've been making videos since about 20. The YouTube channel's been making the video since 2020, and they stopped in 2022, which was pretty upsetting. But in all fairness, I don't blame them. They've made all the kinds of it, all t- all of it. And Rory the Racing Car is one of the best kids shows ever. Paw Patrol is still going, and we're on the autopilot. We're making more seasons and seasons, and we're in series 11, and we're still churning out more fun content with the the with all the fun things from firefighters. And there was a meme that came out last year that still come out this year. I'll go ahead. It's about Marshall landing on his buns. I'll go ahead and do it. Whoa, move down. Marshall, are you okay? I'm good. I landed on my buns. Doink doink. So that's all we gotta say for this. And it's and I think Bob the Builder is still a great kid show to this day. Even though it's not making any new videos, and we can't wait to see the brand new the brand new Bob the Builder movie, and we'll update you guys on that. Thank you, Muck, Rory, Chase, and Marshall for that. And now we're going to keep this going along and talk about the Pixar cars. Well, I mean, kind of. We're gonna kind of talk about, or was it? Yeah, we're gonna talk about oh yeah, the movies of this year, and we're going to have Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, Lightning McQueen, and then Sonic and Tails talk about that. And hello, everyone. I'm Lightning McQueen, Hello, I'm Mr. Incredible. Hello, I'm Mrs. Incredible. Hi there, I'm Tails the Fox. Hello there, everyone. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest, most speediest, racing or best racing or the best engine or the fastest hedgehog in the world. So we're going to talk about the movies from that came out from January 2025 till to December 2025, and we've got several here to talk about. I'm going to talk about Wallace and Gromit since I when we picked cards out of the hat I picked that one apparently. So Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul hit Netflix on dis on hit Netflix in um on January 2nd, 2025, and it was the essentially the you know brand new movie, and it's one of the best movies ever. Our creator watched it, and he loved it, and it was so amazing. I watched it; it was really darn good, and I found it so awesome, and it was one of the greatest movies ever. Wallace and Gromit are at their peak at this point, and it's we've never seen more fun stuff like that than now. And Wallace and Gromit are still some of the greatest and most fun and imaginative um shows as of our TV shows. And even though only so many people know about it, it's still a fun, enjoyable show with a lot of claymation, a lot going for it, and I think it's a great one. I'll just without really revealing any spoilers, I think it's a great film, and I really, really loved it. And it was the best way to kick off 2025, which just was one of the best years ever. And so now I'm going to pass over the mic to Sonic and Tails, so they can talk about the new Minecraft movie. Hello! Oh, I'm Tails, the adorable fluffy fox with two tails, and I can use my butt copter to spin. And I'm Sonic, the fastest and coolest hedgehog ever. And we watched the Minecraft movie. I loved it and thought it was cool, even if the story went by very fast and it was a little bit was very uh, goofy and silly a lot. I found that the Minecraft movie hit April 4th, 25 in theaters, and it was watched by a lot of Americans. And to be honest, it was a big flop, critically and financially. And it was pretty much the Magic Railroad of you know it was pretty much the Magic Railroad of the cinematic universe, and it was a pretty bad film, and it just goes to show that the director and the actors and the script or the directors the script and the people who made it were just they didn't care how it was made. All they cared about was making a pretty penny, and that's very upsetting and sad because they could have made something better, but they chose to make a mindless live action kids film that had little to no substance with it. Because besides maybe a lava chicken song here and there, and maybe some very intense fight scenes, it's a pretty low movie. But it isn't terrible. The fight scenes are the best because during the middle part where there's a massive when they're fighting ghasts during the daytime with the Gareth character and then Steve and Henry. It was extremely amazing and it was really cool. Same with the ending where they basically the characters were fighting against the massive hogs, pigs basically, and it was a really cool scene from a bunch of sword fighting and in general fighting. It was the Golem characters. They created the blue Golem, which I don't know how it was created, but I know the regular Golem you take one pumpkin head and four um square stacks of wool basically, and it was really cool, and I found it awesome and enjoyable, and it was again a really fun, amazing scene. The only problem is the dialogue scenes, the scenes with the characters talking, and all the other scenes were just so bland. Why? because they were talking. The main characters, like from Steve and Gareth and all them, were talking like basically children. However, Henry and his sister were talking like basically normal people, and it just was apparent to me that the people who were making the script was pretty much a old grandma who has 7 and 8 year old grandkids and a young, a 20-year-old um, man who catches up with all the latest trends and fads and put together a script that was nothing but a bunch of weird, goofy dialogue, a bit of, to a certain extent, at least a story with a impactful, with an impactful, um, you know, with an impactful story and a or impactful and a some goofy, silly characters to make it seem an adult man acting like he's cool by doing a bunch of incredibly goofy, weird stuff. Because you end up forgetting about it because the movie just has the bare minimum of substance to really keep you going and occupied. Why is that? Mainly because the the mainly because the movie, like I said, just only has it's only really the only good things about it is the you know fight scenes, and that's about it. And really, the all the other kinds of stuff that is in the movie, it's it's basically just it doesn't really have any relevance because you got a silly romantic plot line about middle-aged two middle-aged people, a man and a woman, and then a woman falling in love with a villager, and it's all over the it's just incredibly ridiculous and crazy, and it's a very mid movie. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. It just doesn't really work. And just like with everything else, I keep on saying this, a Bob the Builder, a Fireman Sam movie is better than any slop that is. But that was a lot of negative, and while the movie isn't terrible, I do think it still has merits to it that make it fun and enjoyable. That's true. I remember watching it. I had a good time, and despite things being a little, all over the place, I still found it awesome. Yes, it was awesome. But now we're gonna pass things, and now we're gonna talk about the movie Bad Guys 2 that came out in the summertime. I think it was August of 2020. You know, beginning of August 2025, and it was a really good movie. It was better than Minecraft. It's a really good movie. It has a complete narrative. It has great voice acting, story, and again, it has that modern lingo of language that is missing in certain, that is in a lot of TV shows and movies and specials and stuff. But it doesn't make it uncomfortable or overbearing. These people who work at DreamWorks at least made it. There's an interesting thing though. They do say um, a certain thing, that a profanity that really just kind of blows my mind. And I'll be right back. Yeah, you can tell that these people who were adults, and they at least had a way, because I, despite not seeing the first Bad Guys film, the second one was really good. It had tone, it had music, it had great tone, it had great music, it had great characters. And even though I only saw the didn't see the first one, I only saw the second one, I think the second one is really darn good, despite the ending feeling ridiculously rushed, and a lot of parts in the movie being all at least in the movie being a little bit extremely you know a little bit insane to a certain extent in terms of the action and all the extreme physical fighting, which isn't bad, but you get my point. And to be honest, it's again a great film. The only thing I really take issue with again was the climax. It felt very rushed, and I don't know, I didn't find that appealing, and just was so I don't know. The ending, just I could tell the ending was rushed, but just from all the extreme, left and rights of everything. So that's our review on those two movies, and now we're gonna pass things over to, Mr. and Mrs. Incredible to talk about you know, talk about other movies, or the last movie, the Superman movie, and boy oh boy, it's a really darn, you know, good, movie. Alrighty then, we will take it away now. This the Superman movie was one of the last few movies that came out in 2025. It came out in July, the end of July 2025, which again isn't really the end, but you get my point. It was our last movie that our creator saw, and it's a really darn good film. I find it really amazing. Has it has literally very little to no problems. The only thing that we found problematic about it was it didn't play the Superman theme, and that was just very upsetting because we all know the Superman thing, and it was just sad that they didn't play it. I do, however, think it was fun and enjoyable. It was amazing. The best scene it was the fight scene, Mr. Terrific fight scene. And he was a DC character that we didn't know until now, and he was a really great, he made the film amazing. You got Guy Gardner, who was played by Nathan Fillion, who made a cameo in The Big Bang Theory back in 2019, which was really cool. And it was really an interesting choice to have Nathan Fillion play Superman, Superman to play Guy Gardner. I meant, and I think again, the Green Lanterns are some of the best characters ever. The love for DC's comics has just been coming back, and it's stronger and stronger, and it's just so amazing, and it's hard to dislike something as amazing as Superman because it had little to no problems with it. Again, despite it having a not playing the theme, it was a really darn good, fantastic film, and it could have been it could have been worse, but it wasn't. It was directed by James Gunn, and James Gunn has a previous history with Disney. If you followed up with him back in 2019. But if not, it's okay. And to be honest, it wasn't anything bad or extremely uh, terrible. But yeah, anyways, to wrap this up, just gonna say that the Superman movie went over very well, and it was an enjoyable, very fun watch, and we just can't recommend it enough. And we're going to wrap things up here, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back. And we're back, everybody. We want to thank you all for watching this video, and we really appreciate all the kindness you showed on this channel. This year, 2025, has been one of, if not the best year of our entire lives, with everything from the pilot to the movies to just everything was awesome, and we just loved all of it, and it just came out as very extremely amazing and awesome, and from beginning to end, it was amazing with very little to no bad things about it, and there were just so much good things that really just made it amazing. And we just want to say we really appreciate and love all of you guys, and that just keep spreading the more love and support you if you can, because there's just a lot here for us to really appreciate, and we can't thank you enough for all of it. And with all that being said, we thank you all so much for watching, and please feel free to like and comment the video, share if you want, because it's the more review you give me, the better. So we thank you again for watching, and again, have a wonderful day. And as always, is um that's a story for another day. And Fireman Sam is here to on his way to help, and we can fix it. Thank you again, and roll the outro.